welcome to Classic Game Room, coming to you from the Intergalactic Space Arcade, powered by the Magic El Camino and the Disco Ball of Power, working to bring the review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Sega Genesis. Sonic the Hedgehog returns for his second adventure in 1992's Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Sega Genesis, where we get to meet a new friend, Miles Tails Prowler. Miles Prowler. Get it? Miles per hour? Huh? Clever. And he has two tails. Good old school traditional 2D Sonic gameplay returns. This game is actually very similar to the first one, except I've left Tails miles behind in this shot. You can play 1 or 2 player. In single player, he just kind of tags along. In 2 player, you can play with a friend, split screen, and compete for points. Another major feature here is that you can play as Tails. From the options menu at the start screen, choose Sonic, Tails, or both. Collect 50 rings in a level and jump into one of those little stargates and go for a Chaos Emerald if you're serious about your points. You'll hear me rave about the music through the entire review, but this is my favorite song in the game. It's great. And notice how smoothly it runs, too. I think that, combined with Tails, combined with larger levels to explore, makes this an improvement over the excellent first game. Now, if you're watching a review where I might give away some sort of clue as to the ending of the game, I'll give a spoiler alert. Well, in this game, I'm just going to give you a crappy footage alert. That's an interesting sound effect for that. But seriously, I'm terrible at this game, and most platformers, as you know if you watch this show. But that doesn't stop me from enjoying and appreciating a good platformer like this. In fact, I played Sonic a lot more when I was a kid. And the whole thing with Sonic the Hedgehog is level memorization. The game really rewards you for taking the time to explore the levels and developing the best path through them, collecting the most rings, destroying enemies, and still getting a good time. They're brilliant, colorful, likable games that have a lot of depth and replayability, and I think a lot of people, including myself, are disappointed that Sega got away from this. In a way, Sega has positioned Sonic to be his own reality TV star. He's famous for the sake of being famous. Now he can drive karts, play sports, adventure, and he's even had his own TV show. This level reminds me of Altered Beast. But let's not forget the days when Sonic had to compete against Mario in the fierce, bitter 16-bit rivalry, the Sega Genesis versus the Super Nintendo. If you think today's console wars are bad, revisit 1992. We used whips and chains back then to settle our disputes. You know, in Streets of Rage. These days, even though Sonic may have sold out and is reportedly engaged to Lara Croft, you still have to respect his heritage and the fact that Sega makes him extremely accessible. Oh no, I missed the thing. Sure, you can pick this game up for the Sega Genesis used for pennies, it's readily available, or you can just pick up one of the awesome Sonic collections. If you have a PlayStation 2, 3, Wii, Xbox, or PC, you can find pretty much all the Sonic games for a good price. Sonic is even on the iPad, but has he ever been as good as he was on the Sega Genesis, back when he first reared his blue head and waggling finger in 16 bits? I should admit that I am the world's worst Sonic the Hedgehog player. I may be worse at Sonic than Mario games. Two great games to be bad at. Yes, I'm terrible at the game, but I love the level design, the colorful visuals, and the music is simply incredible. Well, at least he didn't drown that time. I think the music sounds a lot like Revenge of Shinobi, but they are not the same composer. This game was done by Masato Nakamura, who also composed music for the first Sonic the Hedgehog game. The Sega Genesis, when used properly, can deliver amazing sounds and music, as demonstrated here. And the best part about revisiting the console war from the early 90s is that the Genesis and Super Nintendo were two completely different game systems.
Why are there harmful things? This is an insurance risk.
I'll recommend it. I think the best way to get this game is in Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection, which can be found for PS3, 360, and PC.
Tails, do something! Sonic!
Or just pick it up used. It's a fabulous game and an important piece of Sonic the Hedgehog history. Just try not to drown him. It could leave you emotionally scarred for the rest of your life.
Oh, Sonic, not again! I feel so bad about drowning him. Again!
Can you see my sad face?